Chamber will come to order. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the October 14th, 2024 East Brunswick Township Council meeting. Will everyone please rise, if you can, as we salute our nation with the Pledge of Allegiance and remain in tribute towards personal reflection. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Township Clerk, please call roll and read our statement of adequate notice.
Councilmember Hall.
Here.
Councilman Wendell.
Here.
Councilwoman Winston.
Here.
Councilwoman Zembicki.
Here.
Council President McAvoy.
Here.
Also present, Mayor Brad Cohen.
Here.
Administrator Joseph Criscuolo.
Here.
And Township Attorney Anthony Iacoca.
Here.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required under Chapter 231, Public Law, 1975, by specifying the time, date, location, and to the extent known, the agenda, by posting a copy on the bulletin board located in the main lobby of the East Brunswick Municipal Building, providing a copy to the Home News Tribune and the Asbury Park Press newspapers, posting a copy on the township's website, and by filing a copy in the office of the township clerk, which will be entered into the minutes.
Council, you have before you Resolution 24-294, adopting our meeting minutes from our September 23rd, 2024 meeting. May I have a motion?
Motion approved.
A second?
Second.
Is there a need for correction or clarification from the council? Seeing none, Ms. Lawful, please take roll.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zembicki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy.
Yes. We have a proclamation from the mayor's office regarding October 2024 as Alpha Delta Kappa month. Councilwoman Zembicki, will you please recognize the proclamation?
Thank you. All right, good evening. Whereas Alpha Delta Kappa, an international organization for women educators, all members strive to promote excellence in education, strengthen the status and advancement of the teaching profession, and serve the educational community, and provide desirable, healthy, intelligent image of concerned, caring educators. And whereas women in education constitute a great portion of the nation's working force and are constantly striving to serve their communities and nation in educational, cultural, and charitable programs leading to harmony, happiness, and peace among all people. And whereas the major goals of Alpha Delta Kappa International Honorary Organization for Women Educators are to give recognition to outstanding educators, to build a fraternal fellowship among educators, adding to their effectiveness in promoting excellence in education, to establish high standards of education, and to promote educational and charitable projects and activities, enriching the lives of individuals everywhere, and assisting these individuals into happy, constructive, fulfilling lives. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that Mayor Brad J. Cohen, the mayor of the Township of East Brunswick, commends the Kappa chapter for their community service and hereby proclaim the month of October 2024 Alpha Delta Kappa month in the Township of East Brunswick. And we urge all residents to support the efforts of our educators. So I just would like to thank this wonderful group.
Thank you so
They have done many wonderful things, and certainly an easy way that the community could support them is attending their spring fundraiser at Applebee's every year, where you come down and have a little breakfast. That's something everybody could do to help support this wonderful group. So please
Thank you
have,
so much.
yeah,
Thank you, dear. I want to first express my gratitude to Mayor Cohen and the council for the generosity of their time and this recognition. You should know that Alpha Delta Kappa is a state leader in altruism. Alpha Delta Kappa built 2 schools in Vietnam. Alpha Delta Kappa is a strong supporter of charities such as Camp Daisy. Alpha Delta Kappa partnered with other groups such as the East Brunswick chapter of Hadassah, the East Brunswick Sustainability Task Force, and the library to put on 3 excellent forums which supported and promoted sustainability. And these forums were broadcast on EBTV, where they were recorded, and they were also on Zoom and in person. Alpha Delta Kappa each year raises thousands of dollars for scholarships, and this is used for not only the East Brunswick young women going into education, but we serve 3 other townships as well. Alpha Delta Kappa promotes excellence in education, world understanding, and altruism. And thank you again for the generosity of your time and this recognition.
Let's get a team photo. Let's get the mayor in the middle, please. Dana, please. Everybody good? Jim, you good? Yeah. Good? Great. Got to switch phones.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much for having me.
Good to see you. At this time, I'd like to recognize a couple of guests we have in the audience. Our assemblymen, Rob Karabinchak and Assemblyman Sterling Stanley, who represent us in Trenton. And they have generously awarded East Brunswick with funding from Trenton for our pool expansion project at Crystal Springs Family Water Park. The floor is yours, gentlemen.
So, thank you, Council President, Assemblyman Rob Karabinchak. It's our honor to be here tonight to be able to say that we're bringing you $500,000 for the Crystal Springs Family Water Park for the renovation, and this is so important for families and communities in East Brunswick. Except there's more exciting news that Assemblyman Stanley is going to share with you.
Yes. As you know, over the last couple of years, we've had rash problems as far as burglaries and car thefts going on in not just East Brunswick, but throughout our district and throughout New Jersey as well. And working with local law enforcement and local mayors in and around District 18 and throughout New Jersey, I was able to sponsor a bill called A4299, which would make it a first and second degree crime for armed invasion of homes, as well as especially with juveniles. And speaking to most of the prosecutors, we had meetings with the juvenile prosecutors in 7 counties, and also all the chiefs of police within our district. And having come to conclusion, working with the AG's office and the governor's office, and we had a great discourse with the leadership of both the Assembly and the Senate, and we were able to present this bill, and this bill just got passed in the last voting session, and our governor is going to sign this bill this coming Friday. So this coming Friday, it's going to become law that all juveniles who are caught with armed invasions of homes will be prosecuted either as a first-degree or second-degree crime. So it's no longer a slap on the wrist and they get to go home. There's severe consequences for burglarizing our homes. And we recognize this, we recognize the fact that our home is our sanctuary. So we want to make sure that we're down in Trenton fighting for the safety of our homes. And every single family is affected by this. And we want to make sure that we all realize the fact that we've heard the people's voices. And that's why when we've done, I was a prime sponsor on this, but Assemblyman Karavinchak, he was the second prime on this. And we fought very hard down in Trenton for our, residents here. So that's one thing I want to leave with you tonight, is that this is going to become law as of this Friday.
Congratulations, men.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
Council, any comments, please? Mayor Cohen?
First of all, thank you for that piece of legislation, and thank you for your continued efforts at getting us the type of help that we need in order to provide the services to residents through grants that ultimately would have otherwise cost taxpayers money. And that's beyond just the money that you got us for the enclosure of the pool over at Crystal Springs, which, besides the fact that it will help make the pool a year-round facility, but the entire facility will be year-round to the members of the public. But you've also gotten us money for the Community Arts Center. You've gotten us money for the ice rinks, which, as many of you know, are already starting to be built. Almost every year now since taking office, you've gotten us money through the Transportation Trust Fund to help offset some of the costs of some of the bigger roads in town, which are our roads, ultimately would have cost taxpayers money for that. Improvements to the building here itself, many of the security upgrades, senior center upgrades, new roof that was installed there. So many, many things that go beyond just the things that hit the news. And these are saving taxpayers millions of dollars every year. Just to add a little flavor onto the bill, as I'm sure you know, a lot of the increase in car theft and home invasion that's been going on for several years now, and again, like you mentioned, throughout the state, not just East Brunswick, are part of large gangs, large groups that are organized well outside of East Brunswick, and many of them, these gangs, these groups have been using juveniles for a very long period of time because the laws were so lax on juveniles. So they would recruit a lot of younger people to come in and do these car thefts and home invasions. And I think that this is a necessary step in order to stem that tide, which goes well beyond East Brunswick, and I think really gets to the heart of these organized crime units that are going out there and invading people's privacies and sometimes putting everybody's life and safety at risk. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
All right, before you leave, as both of you know, I spent 37 years in the educational system here in town, 31 years of that at the high school. And there was just constantly a conversation about a pool for not only our swim team, but also for the residents of the town. Twice during the 31 years that I was at the high school, referendums were shot down in this community for the pool. Finally, Mayor Cohen took the initiative of saying that I'm going to do something for everyone, not just one small group of people, but everyone who wants to make use of the pool. And then to find out that you were able to solidify, secure, make sure that we were receiving $500,000 for this construction. As the chairman, as the president of this council, just wanted to make sure you understand, we really appreciate that.
Thank you, Council President.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for coming out tonight, too.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Council, we have 5 ordinances for a second reading and subsequent public hearing. So let's begin with 24-24. Township Clerk, please read.
A bond ordinance providing for the replacement of various water main lines in and by the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appropriating $1,230,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $1,230,000 in bonds or notes to finance the cost thereof.
May I have a motion
Motion approved.
and a second?
Second.
I'll now open this up to the public for discussion, if you should choose to address the council president. Seeing none, I'll close the public. Oh, please, I beg your pardon. And we'll need your name and address for the record.
Sure. My name is Nawal Tufel. Address is Tall Oaks Drive, East Brunswick.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'm here for 2 things. I think in last 11 months, or actually it's been a year, with this current genocide, some of my friends showed up to these council
Oh,
meetings.
this is, I beg your pardon, we'll come back later to the public portion.
Oh,
This
sorry.
is- It's okay, this is just on this one. We do these ordinances one at a, miscommunication maybe on my part. We're going to go through 5 ordinances that will open to the public, and they can speak on that particular item, and then we'll come back. So this is, I'll reopen the public portion with regard to this particular ordinance 24-24. Anyone from the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, I'll close the public portion. Council, any comments?
Yeah, I just want to clarify.
Councilman Wendell.
Mr. Crisculo can, get into this anymore if necessary, but these monies are not coming out of the municipal government, the municipal budget. These monies come out of the water utility budget and
That
are
is
paid
correct.
by user fees.
That is correct, sir.
You good, Mr. Councilman Wendell?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Can we, any further council comments? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zambiki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy?
Yes.
Thank you.
Next ordinance, 24-25, or second of 5. Please read. Thank you.
A bond ordinance providing for road repaving in and by the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appropriating $2,105,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2 million in bonds or notes to finance the cost thereof.
Motion approved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. I'll now open this, I'll open this ordinance to the public, ordinance 24-25. Seeing no one, will close the public portion. Any comments from council on this one? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zambiki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy?
Yes. Next, we have ordinance 24-26. Township Clerk, please read.
An ordinance of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 209, Vehicles and Traffic of the Township Code to add U-turn prohibitions on Thrush Drive and Peach Orchard Drive.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
I'll now open this ordinance and this ordinance only to the public. Seeing none, we'll close the public portion. Any comment from council? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zambiki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy?
Yes. Next, we have ordinance 24-27. Township Clerk, please read.
An ordinance of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 209, Vehicles and Traffic of the Township Code to prohibit street parking on Kimberly Road and Henley Drive.
Motion to adopt.
And a second.
Second.
I'll now open up this ordinance to the public. Seeing no comments there, we'll close the public portion. Any final comments from council? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zambiki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy?
Yes.
Thank you.
And our final ordinance for a second reading and subsequent public hearing, 24-28. Ms. Lawful, please.
An ordinance of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 209, Vehicles and Traffic of the Township Code to add a stop sign on Thrust Drive.
Motion adopted.
And a second.
Second.
I'll now open this ordinance to the public. Seeing none, we'll close the public portion. Any further comments from council? Roll call, please.
Councilman Bahal?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zambiki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy?
Yes,
Thank you.
there was a lot there. A lot there. Now let's move on to our reports section of the meeting. Mayor Cohen?
Thank you, Council President. First, I'd like to start by totally embarrassing Councilman Dinesh Bahal and wishing him a happy birthday, since it's his birthday today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Want to thank everybody that was involved, our Parks and Recreation Department, police, and all of the departments that were out on East Brunswick Day. We were blessed with probably, I think, the best of all 10 events in terms of weather that we've had in the last 10 years. I think this was the best. Turnout really broke records. I saw people parking out on parts of the property that I've never seen people having to use for parking before. There was a huge array of representation from township departments, nonprofits, houses of worship, many businesses, and it really was a true melting pot of exactly what East Brunswick's about, community. And we had people performing, food from all different cultures, and food trucks that were out there. So I really think that they did a terrific job, and I congratulate everybody that was involved in getting that off the ground. So kudos to them. If you haven't seen, there just seems to be a buzz of activity going around East Brunswick over the last couple of months. We have been opening up stores right and left, cutting ribbons, whether it is on food stores or entertainment venues, the Palmeras, which is everyone refers to as the bowling alley, Rahina Rugas. It's not really a bowling alley. That's only one small part of what they do there. That finally opened. We've had a flurry of activity in some of the redevelopment projects that have been going on, whether that would be the legacy project that continues to finish up in its plans, along with the property that Russo is developing called Vermella. The Vermella project's off the ground. Chick-fil-A is going up. The ice rinks already have broken ground and are starting to go up. And I think what a lot of people are seeing is a lot of activity, almost as if I kind of compare it to a skillet of corn. We've been working on these things for a long time. They're all starting to pop at once, but the work that was being done trying to get us to this point has really been the work that we've been doing for the last 4 to 8 years, and it's all starting to come to fruition now, and I think people are starting to get a sense of what it is that we envisioned a while ago, and I think it's exciting. So keep your eyes peeled. It's going to move very quickly, because my understanding from a lot of the people who do this work is that once it actually gets going, it's kind of like snowballs, and it gets up pretty quickly. So this is all exciting, and I appreciate all the help that everybody on this table and many people throughout the Planning Board, Zoning Board, Redevelopment Agency, Office of Economic Development, our administration, this council, none of this happened by itself. It's all happening because of a team of us who are clearly focused on the vision. So I thank you all for being part of that.
And Route 18 has butter on that popcorn. Oh, yes, they do. Our business administrator, Mr. Criscola.
Yes, just want to advise the residents that leaf collection will begin on November 1st, and that is for loose leaves and bag leaves. They must be on your grass on the above the curb, not in the street. okay? If you have sidewalks, we like it between your sidewalk and the curb. Do not put them in the roadway at all. We cannot predict when the leaves are going to fall, so a lot of times the first pass through the town goes a lot quicker than the second and third, so we're going to wait and see where we are, and if the leaves fall, we'll be around. If not, then we'll, hold off. So please put them between the curb line and the sidewalk. If they're in the roadway, we're not going to pick them up. It's a safety matter. The police will be out enforcing that because leaves can be very slippery. If they freeze, it adds another problem. So as part of the deal with continuing to collect loose leaves, we are going to really push that it's at the curb line and not in the roadway. Thank you.
Storm drains.
Yes, they also clog the storm drains, which is a big issue.
Mr. Criscuolo, what do those homeowners do that don't have curbs? Right there's, you can use, I'm thinking right now.
Just put them on the grass.
So somewhere from the sidewalk to where there should be a curb?
Yeah, just don't put them in the roadway. If it's
Bingo.
blacktop, don't put it there.
In other words, you try your best to put them in a safe, that area between the sidewalk and the curb. Because it's already beginning. I was just driving around today, and you're beginning to see people doing the leaf work.
Yeah.
Township Clerk, Township Attorney, Mr. Iacocca.
One item, Council President. On the agenda is an add-on resolution with regard to the emergency bus contract. I will provide a general summary of the resolution contract later in the evening.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Iacocca. Our Township Clerk, Ms. Lawful.
Thank you, Council President. I, too, would like to acknowledge Councilman Wahal. Happy birthday to you, and many, many more.
Thank you.
With respect to elections, elections is right around the corner. It will be held on Tuesday, November 5th. If you are not registered to vote, tomorrow, Tuesday, October 15th, is the last day to do so for this coming general election. Once again, if you're not registered to vote, tomorrow, October 15th, is the last day to register to vote for this coming general election. Also, the Middlesex County Board of Elections will be open until 9 p.m. tomorrow to accept all new voter registrations. All right, so you can also submit your voter registration to that office, or you can also submit it to the clerk's office here in East Brunswick, and we'll forward that information over to the Board of Elections. The mail-in of mail-in ballots, once again, that commenced on September 21st. If you received your mail-in ballot, there are 3 ways to return your ballot. Once again, you can use the U.S. Postal Service. That is of no cost to you whatsoever. You can also drop it off at the Board of Elections located at 26B Kennedy Boulevard here in East Brunswick. Or you can conveniently utilize our mail-in, our ballot drop box, I should say, which is located by our municipal court and our police station parking lot. In terms of early voting will take place at the Community Arts Center, and that will begin next week, Saturday, October 26th, until November 3rd. Once again, early voting begins at the CAC, the Community Arts Center, on Saturday, October 26th through November 3rd. The polls will be open from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m., except for Sundays. On Sundays, they close at 6 p.m. So from 10 to 6 on Sundays, all other days are from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. And that is all I have to report.
Council, any committee or board reports?
Just a quick report.
Okay, Councilwoman Zambicki?
Thank you. Just to remind everybody, we're at the giving season. The Township and Interfaith Clergy Council are collecting gift cards to Target and Walmart in denominations of $5 to $25. You can drop it off at the Rec and Parks office or right here at the clerk's office. And a very special congratulations to our very own John Roche, who was awarded the Kelly Ogle Memorial Safety Award for his work at Crystal Springs. This award is given to individuals that show significant contributions to the safety of our residents and employees in the water attraction industry. So congratulations to John.
We can move on to our public portion of the meeting. Ms. Lawful, please read our public comment statement.
The public comment portion of our meeting is to allow the public to bring to the council's attention their concerns or comments. In accordance with NJSA 10:4-12A and the East Brunswick Rules of Council, the council asks the public to limit their comments to 5 minutes or less. At the conclusion of the statements or questions from a member of the public, the council president, at his discretion, may choose to respond or not respond.
Thank you. Does anyone wish to address the council president? Please. Okay. And could we get your name and address again?
Sure, it is Nawal Tufel and Tall Oaks Drive, East Brunswick.
Thank you.
So I actually wanted to bring two things to this council's attention. As you all know, the anniversary for the genocide was October 7th. It's been 1 year that a lot of people have been killed by Israel in Palestine. What's happening is just terrible, and I refuse to believe that people who are sitting here don't know what's happening. Yesterday, Israel basically killed children playing in the playground, soccer, kids between the age of 5 and 12, and we saw dead bodies. These children were killed just because they are Palestinians. So now the thing is, there are two things which I want to address. One thing is that this administration has not called for the ceasefire yet. While I understand that you don't have to do it, but as a moral obligation of this council is to do the right thing. Now, there are multiple councils within New Jersey, our neighboring towns, who have done that. So I don't know what's the reason why this township is not calling for a ceasefire. Do we wish to continue this war and this genocide of children? There were, bombs were dropped by Israel last night on tents. And we saw, the whole world saw people burning alive to dust. So that's the horror of wars which we are witnessing right now. Every day I wake up and I think, okay, that's it. I can't see more horrible images, but I've seen more, like shredded children, limbs, just limbs, no body attached to it, just the hand, just the head. We have seen it. It's not like what was claimed by Israel and then we never saw any footage or any basically expert proof of it. So these are the things that we are seeing on a daily basis. So what's the reason why this council would not call for a ceasefire? The other thing is that whatever is happening there is connected to what's happening here. So this point that this council does not want to interfere just because it's happening outside of US, I completely disagree. All that money that's going out is our tax dollars money. Billions of dollars is paid to Israel in just last 1 year. And that money is from my hard-earned tax dollars. That money can be used into so many things within East Brunswick. Schools, library, parks. I take my young kids to park in Highland Park just because there is no good park for kids between the age of 0 to 5 here. And all the parks they are not good for small crawling children. So a resident of East Brunswick is not happy with what's happening in our own town, and I know the budget constraints. I completely understand. I'm completely educated on how much money we are getting and how much expenses we have. But why, if you are not calling out for these things, then our government will keep sending this money to war machines to commit genocide. The other thing is we have a sister city agreement, and which I understand Mr. Brad Cohen is the one who initiated this on his visit to Israel. I don't even know, Mr. Brad, if that trip was paid by this city council's money or if it was your personal trip. But that sister city agreement should basically, we should definitely break it. That country, Israel, is on trial for genocide in ICC, International Criminal Court. So why are we keeping as a moral obligation an agreement with a sister city when we know that in future truth will come out? This whole thing will come out eventually. Maybe not now, maybe not next few months. In few years, the whole world will know the truth that what Israel did. And then this city, our children will know that this city council did not do anything when the genocide was happening. So I just have these two things, and I know you're not obligated to answer me for these two things, but I would really like to know your view on it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else wish to address the council? Sir.
Yeah, Tom Ingrasani, Deerfield Road. Mr. Mayor, Mr. President, Council. I heard Joe talking about the November 1st for leaves. Now, when it's on I don't have a sidewalk, so when it's on the grass side, who takes that off, or when do we get notice to take it off and put it into the street?
The collection crews will take it.
They'll take it off the thing?
Yep.
Okay.
They have big packs.
Okay,
Deep
I thought
blowers,
they
they'll
just
get them
come
in the
with a
street, and
bulldozer.
then the big guy's going to come down the street. And please avoid parking in the street too when they're going to come and do it as well.
Then a few weeks ago, I brought up my neighbor has these branches that when a tree fell down. What do you do with branches like that? I mean, nobody picked them up all this time since
You got to
August.
call them in.
He did, he said, nobody still picked them up.
It's the third week in, so the third week will be next week. It's the third week in the month that branches are collected.
Okay,
So we
leave
called
on the
him in,
street?
he's on the list to be picked up. We pick up branches in the entire town, and then they get chipped and brought over to the recycle center.
Oh, so it's the third week's on Thursdays?
No, it's the whole week. It depends on how long the list is.
Okay.
Okay?
The other thing is, I don't know if you see Route 18 yesterday, we're bringing up Route 18 again. It was a disaster yesterday on a Sunday. And it's the signs, I think, that screw everything up. The left lane's closed, and all of a sudden the right lane's closed. Is there any way they could bring signs forward more, back further? Like
It's a Department of Transportation issue, Mr. Ingrasini. You saw the gentleman come here last week and give a detailed presentation on where they are. It's a 4-year project. They're just beyond 2 years. Everything seems to be going the way they wanted it to go. Are there inconveniences to East Brunswick residents? Almost every one of us is inconvenienced, but we're going to have to we've been dealing with that.
they say it might go on for another 3 years. That's what I heard on the website.
Okay.
And last but least, anybody know when the Chick-fil-A will be opening and who to contact?
And again, we talked about this.
I don't know, but could you find out if anything
No,
has?
that's just, it's a construction project that's going on.
All right.
Could you pull your car over and talk to the construction? Sure, you could.
Yeah,
but
I know.
That's not in the welfare of, or the jurisdiction of this council.
I just thought maybe I could ask, that's all.
Oh, there, nothing, can't
Thank
hurt
you very
asking,
much.
right?
Thanks.
Thanks, Mr. Ingrasini. Anyone else wishing to address Council President? Sir.
Hi, I'm Eugene DiMarzo, Jennifer Court, and I just have two quick questions. Can you explain to me the amount that the ice rink is going to cost and how much that increases the town debt?
This is not the place for a conversation between, we give you the ability to make a statement regarding what it is on your mind. But I'll give you some I beg your pardon, I'll give you some leeway with regard to the construction of an ice hockey rink, because it's this council that awarded the $40 million that was needed in terms of the project.
You see, that's my question, is I've been hearing it's 26 million.
40.
Yes.
And
Yeah, that's all, I mean, I just wanted to,
that's the amount of money that
32 inch.
has been allocated for that.
okay.
And the second question?
Bonds.
Yes.
And then how much does that increase the town debt? Can you,
How much is it increasing?
the town debt? Because I had heard
I
it
don't
was
know.
Well,
increased.
the bid that went out was 31, so let's say 32 million. We only will finance what we need at various phases of the project. So right now, we only finance that particular amount. But remember, this is a facility that's going to be charging people to use the facility. So it's not all going to be, it's taxpayer debt. Right now, it's township debt. But there's a recovery mechanism in that to recover funds as people use the facility. And if you talk to people in Woodbridge and so on, it's a very good operation because there's a huge need.
Well, the
So
reason, I'm sorry. The reason I ask is because I heard it was going to increase the town debt to 72 million. I had heard that at a town council meeting. And I just want to know how, like, where that figure came from.
I've never heard that number, so.
Okay, if you go to the July 10th, 2023 council meeting, you know.
July 10th of 23.
23.
So a year ago and 6 months, when it was still in a discussionary phase.
Well, actually, it was when you had them here explaining what the plan was.
Right. But we did not allocate any money for Mayor Cohen at that point in time, yet.
Well, that's just why I'm asking for an
Right.
update on it.
Right.
Because with the project going ahead, I would imagine you would have figures. And second question is there a residential being planned for the East Brunswick Mall?
No.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to address the council president? Seeing none, we'll close the public portion. And we'll move on to our consent agenda. Is there anything that needs to be separated before we move forward? Could I have a resolution, could I have a motion for resolutions 24-295 through 24-302?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zambicki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy?
Yes. Council, we have an,
If I may just.
Yes.
One quick statement. Resolution 24-296 is for the Zambonis for the ice rink.
296, the Zamboni.
Yeah, I just want, again, to be noted that I want to get to drive the Zamboni when we get.
you have to
Do you
get
have a
I
license?
do.
You have to get
I
a
wanna get
Zamboni
trained.
driver's
Okay.
license prior.
We'll have to
You'll have to get a
debate
driver's
the dollar and
license prior
cents
for
on
the
that.
Zamboni.
Okay.
For it to come in time, is a long time to get that license.
You got to get your Zamboni driver's license.
Okay.
We're going to do that at the end. We're going to, I already talked to Mr.
Got to
Iacocca.
seek out how to find a Zamboni license now.
Can we move on from the Zamboni, sir?
Yes, I'm sorry. I was.
That's okay.
that was
No,
just
no,
all
no.
in,
Comic
you know,
relief is
yes.
needed every once in a while. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Council, we have an
Council
ordinance for...
President, just real quick, can I just comment on 24-301, which is the fireworks? Can we make sure a civic ready goes out that day, so people are aware?
Your clerk can notify the police department.
Okay, thank you.
Council, we have ordinance for introduction, ordinance 24-29. Township Clerk, please read.
A capital ordinance by the Township of East Brunswick providing for various road improvement projects in and by the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appropriating $1,245,800 therefore.
Mr. Crisculo, can I get a clarification on this, please?
Sure. This is a bond ordinance for additional roadway. This is going to be funded through LSRF, Local Fiscal Recovery Funds. The funds have to be awarded by the end of this year. So that's why we're kind of fast tracking some of the road stuff. Usually we would wait, till December or so to get all the work done, but time is of the essence on this to make sure that we can utilize those funds.
Okay.
And I'd like to thank Angel Albanese for making sure we stay on top of that, and naturally Keith Kipp and his team to get the designs and everything done. So this year we'll have 2 phases, the first phase of road paving and then a follow-up phase, just because the engineering is going to take time. That's what that's for.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zambicki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy?
Yes. Now we'll move on to resolution.
Council President.
Oh,
Mayor.
Mayor Cohen, I beg your pardon.
Oh, no problem. I just wanted to clarify for residents that, as you saw earlier in the consent agenda, there was an approval for actually in the ordinance, the $2.1 million that was used towards roads. That's part of the projects that we do every year when it comes to our road repavement plan. We've spent traditionally anywhere between $2 and $4 million on roads in order to catch up with what we inherited, which were many roads that were clearly not attended to. So the idea this year was to use up the recovery money before we lose it. That's money that's granted to us. So the 2.1 that you approved before and the 1.2, which is grant money, will get us to a little bit over $3 million, which is traditionally what we've been spending on roads every year.
Thank you, Mayor. In your packet, Council, we received a last-minute resolution 23-303 regarding the coach and suburban buses. I'm going to call on, how about Township Clerk, you read the resolution first?
Resolution number 24-303, resolution of the Township of East Brunswick authorizing emergency contract by and between the Township of East Brunswick and Suburban Transit Lines doing business as Coach USA Suburban for commuter bus services pursuant to NJSA 40A:11-6.
And Mr. Iacocca for clarification.
So the township has a contract with Coach USA that goes back to 2014 for commuter bus services. Coach filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in August of 2024. And to ensure the continuity of the township bus commuter services, the township extended Coach's contract until the completion of the bankruptcy. The bankruptcy is about to be completed, and there's a closing of assets to Suburban Transit Lines doing business as Coach USA Suburban. They are taking over the assets of Coach USA. The closing is scheduled to take place this week, no later than next week. And the purpose of this contract is to have an emergency contract between the township and Suburban until the township awards a new bus contract. The township put out bids for new bus commuter services, and the bid opening will take place November 15th. So the emergency contract will stay in effect until such time as the township awards a new contract pursuant to the bus bids, but no later than December 31st of this year. There's an end date. If anyone has any questions regarding the contract, please let me know.
So in other words, status quo.
Correct. The purpose of the emergency contract is to maintain the same level of services that the township receives from Coach USA until we award a new contract.
And so those residents who use the transportation network to get into the city should not be worried or concerned right now.
Correct, Council President.
Thank you. Councilman Wendell?
Our rental revenue, I see it says $9,000 a month for both facilities. Is that the same as the previous contract? Or did we take give them a discount on that until the new contract?
The previous contract goes back to 2014, and the rental rate was, I believe, adjusted through the pandemic. The $9,000 is the current rate right now, and it was negotiated between our bankruptcy counsel and the bidder who's buying these assets.
So we're basically just assigning a contract from Coach USA to Suburban Transit?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments? So, roll call? Did I ask for the motion?
No. No.
Let's get a motion on that.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
And a roll call.
Councilman Bajal?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zindagi?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy.
Yes. And before we move to the good of the cause, we have this young lady who's been sitting here all night long. Oftentimes, students, as well as moms and dads, and even grandmoms and grandpops, they don't even want to come up to the microphone because they're a little bit nervous. Is there anything that you want to tell us with regard to why you're here at a town council meeting? Please, come up.
I'm here because I go to Churchill Junior High School.
Okay.
And my social studies teacher, if you know Mr. Talbot,
Yes.
He's assigned us a project for Q1 benchmark.
Okay.
It's to visit a Board of Education East Brunswick or town council meeting.
You made the right decision. Good.
Me and my friend were gonna come here. She also lives in the community.
Okay.
But she couldn't make it, so I came and I was
Okay.
like, I'll just send you my notes that I took.
Wow. So you took notes on what happened this evening, and you're going to give a presentation in the classroom?
I'm not sure about the presentation part, but he has said we have to create a slideshow that he's later going to grade for us.
Okay. And what grade are you in?
I'm in 8th grade.
In 8th grade? Counsel, anything? Mr. Christie?
Mr. Talbot has a picture of you, so he knows you were here. I just took it and sent it to him.
Just feel free, there's some copies of the agenda in the back of the room.
Right.
You could take it with you, whatever copy's left. You want to take a couple extra for your notes to prepare your presentation, please feel free, and it's on the website as well, but it's already printed. So if you want to take them to help you with your project, please do.
Okay.
And if you have any questions, you can call Council President McAvoy.
Sure. And who are you here with?
I was here with my mom, but
Your mom. Your mom went out. She missed this great
my
conversation between us.
My dad called and he was like, "Oh, can you come home for a second?" So she went there and she like, "Be here, I'll come back."
Okay, she'll come back and get you. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's great.
Very good.
There was a time when, I wish I could remember the name of the projects that's very similar to what this young lady talked about, but it was part of the curriculum that never really got approved, and that's a separate issue. But we had kids lined up along the side wall and all the way out the back door, and each kid was like, we got to find a way to stop this. But to see this young lady come out by herself,
Awesome.
powerful,
Yep, awesome.
very powerful.
Yep, good job.
For the good of the cause. Do you have anything? Yes, Councilwoman Winston.
Thank you. Middlesex County 4-H's House of Horrors and Hayride is in full swing right now at the 4-H grounds at the county fairgrounds. This thrilling event is open Fridays and Saturdays in October from 7 to 10:30 p.m. Tickets are $6 per person at the door, per attraction, $6 per attraction, either the Hayride or the House of Horrors, or you may purchase a combination ticket for $10 each. There are refreshments there, so bring some cash if you like a snack or a warm drink. It bears mentioning that the entire production is set up and run by the 4-H Teen Council. Teens set up, they haul materials there, they bring things from home, they set up, design, they produce, and they plan who's going to scare where and what they're dressed as. They practice this, and they also attend scare school to make sure that they're frightening appropriately and not hurting anyone or touching. And all funds, it's a very popular event, and all funds from this event go directly toward charity. And most of it goes toward Project Gift in December, which is a fantastic event, again, run by the kids with adult supervision, where families in need in the community can go shopping for free for holiday gifts for their families. It's a great event. It's extremely impactful for the kids and the community. And if you're interested in teaching children the importance of community service and making a difference in the where they live, 4-H is always looking for members. You can look up on their website how to join or find out more at middlesexcounty4h.com. The 4 is the number in there. Our youngest 2 boys are just finishing up. They have 1 year left of 4-H. They go through 13th grade, and it's been powerful as far as shaping the way they approach their community and their role in it. So just wanted to put that out there, and if you are going to attend, you'll have a great time, and the money's going to be very well spent. Thank you.
I want to reinforce what Councilwoman Zambicki said about our Crystal Springs director, Mr. John Roche. He was awarded the Kelly Ogle Memorial Safety Award for significant contribution to guest and employee safety in the water attraction industry. John is our aquatics director, is that the term? And I just wanted to make sure that it came from the dais. And secondly, there's a vaccine clinic this Friday at 3 o'clock in the library. Mr. Crisculo, is that something that people can register?
You can pre-register through the website. If you need assistance with that, certainly you can call the library. Flu vaccines will be free for anyone that doesn't have insurance. Those that do, please bring your insurance card, and they'll be able to get that at the library. And I'd like to thank Karen Perry, the new director there. She's doing an outstanding job and is very helpful. So just leave it at that.
Mayor Cohen, please.
I just wanted to emphasize the importance of the water safety. I think most folks here remember several years ago where we had an unfortunate series of drownings, both at Crystal Springs and in private homes. And we went through an extensive review of the processes that we put people through for water safety. Not that we hadn't been doing that before, but we put more of an effort. We instituted programs offering free swimming lessons in the community. And since that time, with the help of people like John, the department director, Mike Reisner, our department has actually become known for a center for excellence in water safety. Many courses, many people from all around the state, whether they are Parks and Rec directors, people that run pools, individuals in the camping industry, come here to East Brunswick now for training on programs for water safety. And so I think we should be proud that we took incident, it was tragic, and now has turned it into a program that hopefully continues to save lives.
Thank you, Mayor Cohen. May I have a motion to adjourn? Second?
Second.
Everyone in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. Good night.
Good night.